calling all trainers, facilitators, public speakers, or those who want to be. It's your time. It's your turn. I'm calling you, Elisa Sample Alexander. Where? To the Roundtable. Gather around. Let's share and grow. Facilitators, it's your show. Tips and tools will pave the way. Empowering minds every day at the Roundtable. We ignite. Learning sparks. Futures bright. Stand tall. Take the lead. Together, we succeed. A place for tips where we thrive. Helping each other, we come alive. Connect, inspire, take a stand. You can do it. Lead the band at the Roundtable. We ignite. Learning sparks. Futures bright. Stand tall. Take the lead. Together, we succeed. A place for tips where we thrive. Helping each other, we come alive. Connect, inspire, take a stand. You can do it. Lead the band at the Roundtable. We ignite. Learning sparks. Futures bright. Stand tall. Take the lead. Together, we succeed at the Roundtable. Welcome to the Roundtable with Elisa Sample Alexander. Well, everyone, welcome to the Roundtable with Elisa. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Now, I promised you that at the Roundtable, we would take one powerful idea and we would share on that idea in hopefully a profound and concise way. So I'm sure you're wondering, what is the idea for tonight? First of all, let me just welcome you. Thank you for watching, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. Who is this show for? Everyone has a message, right? So whether you're a trainer, a teacher, a facilitator, a public speaker, a minister, if your message has meaning, I want you to enjoy this series called the Facilitators Roundtable. Also, I would love for you to click like, for you to share it with someone. Let somebody know what's going on with Elisa Sample Alexander. Now, I've been doing this for over 20 years. And so I am so excited to share the things that I've learned and then give to you, present to you, share with you people who've been doing this a long time as well, who are so effective, so powerful at what they do. Well, tonight our topic is, ready? Our topic is change, right? Change, the necessity of change, the power of change, the importance of change, and sometimes even the difficulty to change. It can be easy in our world of work, those of us who have a message and want to give that message meaning, it can be easy for us to get stuck. There is one way that we feel powerful when we share, and that's the one way we share. Well, I want us to stretch. And honestly, once you stretch, I want you to stretch again, because there are so many different ways of sharing a message. But before we get into the different methodologies, because there's certainly more methodologies than we have time, what I'd like to do with you first is just talk about the why. Right? Why do we need to put ourselves through the stress of change? And I will say that change can feel a little stressful, but there are so many reasons to do it. One reason that we need to change our methodologies when sharing a message is because as we continue to evolve in transferring information and sharing information, we just get better at it. Right? And so the new methodologies, right? The new ways of sharing communication, they can connect more effectively. And so finding those new methodologies and using them can help you be more powerful, right? And that's what it's all about. Helping you help your audience retain more, helping them enjoy the experience more, right? We're not sharing a message with inanimate objects. We're sharing a message with an audience. And the goal is that the audience walk away learning something new, right? I want them to be impressed with you, honestly. But more importantly, I want them to learn something new. We have to transfer the message. And so when we change, we can use new methodologies that help us to do that more effectively. Avoiding stagnation, right? Avoiding stagnation. And if you've been doing this a while, you can actually do this on automatic pilot and wake up in the middle of your own presentation. And when you do that, you're missing so much, especially if you're doing it live, especially when you're doing it online. They're checking out, and honestly, you're checking out too. So avoiding stagnation. Something else is that changing helps you to identify the strengths and the weaknesses of what you've been doing. When you change the game, you can see things more clearly from a creative standpoint, from a facilitator standpoint, even from an instructional design standpoint. So change the game, find the strengths, find the weaknesses, and tweak that presentation or tweak that learning experience so that you can really exemplify the strengths and minimize the weaknesses. Not only that, but most important to me is the opportunity to connect with different kinds of people. I honestly can't say this enough. If we are not careful, for those of us who have a message, we can create or craft our messages so that they connect with people just like us. But guess what? There are so many other kinds of people in the room. I just finished reading the book, The Four Tendencies, and created a learning experience around the four tendencies. I may even come to the roundtable and tell you about it. Essentially, what it says is there are four different orientations, right? There are four different ways of being. And those of us who've been in the business a while, we know about various learning styles. We know about various personality styles, various ways of thinking, receiving, learning, retaining information. What is my point? My point is that you often, if you're not careful, design the way you learn. You often share the way you learn, which is great for the people who are just like you. But what about all those other people that are out there? Change the game, because the goal is to reach the widest audience, make sure that they are enjoying the experience, right? We want them to enjoy the experience, but then most of all, we want them to walk away having learned something new. Right? Having learned something new. All right. So if you would lean in a little bit, let's talk a little bit more about the value of change. And then I want to come back and let's talk about some different ways of doing that. You ready? Let's go. Thank you for joining me at the Facilitators Roundtable. Tonight, we'll talk about change. Change in learning is like a breath of fresh air. When we switch up our methods, we discover new ideas and keep things interesting. Sticking to the same routine can get dull, but trying different approaches helps us find what works best for us. Embracing change in our learning journey opens doors to new passions and deeper understanding, making the process more engaging and effective, and can possibly increase retention. Isn't that what it's all about? So let's celebrate. Facilitators, trainers, learning professionals, anyone who has a message, I challenge you tonight. It's time to change. While we're changing, let's also celebrate the twist, the turns, the changes in our learning paths. Why? Because they lead to growth and excitement. Thank you for joining me at the Facilitators Roundtable. All right. Thanks again for joining me here tonight. So what are some different things we can do? I want us to break the box. And if you've been Zooming, maybe it's time to do something different. If you've been bringing people to a classroom, maybe it's time to do something different. One of the most powerful ways of communicating a message is with storytelling. So whether you're doing it online, whether you're doing it synchronously or asynchronously, right? What about storytelling? Another way of connecting or sharing your message is with peer-to-peer learning. I talked earlier in one of our other roundtable discussions about being the guide on the side, right? Stepping back and making sure that your learners are sharing. And so constructing the learning experience so that you aren't the sage on the stage, but instead you're giving your learners an opportunity to do peer-to-peer counseling, right? So is that a way that you could change up the game? What about the podcast? Sometimes the best way of learning something is to have a learning experience via a conversation, right? A classroom that's happening in a conversation. And so using the podcast methodology, we can see over the past 10, 15 years how popular podcasts have become. And then, of course, doing things online, making sure that we're connecting people with people at distance, but perhaps not doing it live, but doing it instead asynchronously so that people can log on early or log on late. I want to challenge you. Really think about how can you change the game. Another way is with problem solving. Can you take the things that you wanted you to talk to your learners about and instead create case studies so that problem by problem by problem, your learners are logging on or perhaps in a live classroom setting are talking through those problems and learning those key points that you were going to stand up and lecture about. Now, those are just a few ideas. I'd love to hear more. What's the focus? What's the importance? Changing the game. What can you do differently? I was inspired because today I had an opportunity to sit with learning professionals, and oh my gosh, what a great time we had. We actually took every good idea and threw it out. I challenge you to do the same thing. I'm not saying that you don't have good ideas. You have good ideas, but how about tossing them for some great ones? Really think through what you're doing, what you've been doing, and perhaps you need to change. Is there any way that you can get closer to the learner by changing the game? And honestly, getting sharper yourself because you're bringing a brand new you to the learning experience as a teacher, as a trainer, as a facilitator. Well, with that, I want to talk about change some more on November the 23rd. I'm having my very first live event in a long time. It'll be right here in Dallas, Texas. If you'd like to know more about it, check out the comments. I'll make sure to put a link so that you can come and join us. All the learning materials will be included in the registration as well as lunch. So if you'd like to be in a room full of people who embrace change, it's called the Transformation Masterclass. I lost 150 pounds and did it without surgery. And what I found is that the principles for my dramatic change in weight loss and in health can be translated to other areas of life as well. The transformation principles are the same, and I can't wait to talk about it. So November 23rd will start at 10 a.m. It's right here in DFW. If you want to fly in, if you live local to me, let's just continue this discussion about change. Thank you so much for joining us. I'd love to hear the way that you're changing the game. So if you're taking ideas and stretching those ideas and at the same time stretching yourself, come on and talk to me. This is a dialogue. Also, if you'd love to be featured in one of these facilitator roundtable segments, I'd love to include you. So let me know. All right, with that, thank you so much for joining me at the roundtable. We'll see you again soon. Calling all trainers, facilitators, public speakers, are those who want to be. It's your time. It's your turn. I'm calling you, Elisa Sample Alexander. Where? To the round table. Gather around. Let's share and grow. Facilitators, it's your show. Tips and tools will pave the way. Empowering minds every day at the round table. We ignite. Learning sparks. Futures bright. Stand tall. Take the lead. Together, we succeed. A place for tips where we thrive. Helping each other, we come alive. Connect, inspire, take a stand. You can do it. Lead the band at the round table. We ignite. Learning sparks. Futures bright. Stand tall. Take the lead. Together, we succeed. A place for tips where we thrive. Helping each other, we come alive. Connect, inspire, take a stand. You can do it. Lead the band at the round table. We ignite. Learning sparks. Futures bright. Stand tall. Take the lead. Together, we succeed at the round table. Welcome to the round table with Elisa Sample Alexander.